Now what happens when I take this here and I copy that and I go over to Google and I paste that value in there? It says, hey, we happen to find the word password already indexed. So did Google reverse engineer this? No, somebody else did a one-way function and Google just happened to find it. And so now I'm comparing what Google already found to what I found. And in this case, Google's smart enough to come back and say, hey, by the way, here you go. It means password.
So that would essentially, if the content of that file, if it was the same, you would get that same MD5 hash regardless, every single time.
Every single time, all the time.
Yep.
And you can write this down. You can search Google for hashing calculator, and you get to this file format.info, which is really good. You can see I've used it before. And I'm going to search for PASSW0RD. I'm going to hash that. And you'll notice all of the hashes come as a result. So you can see that 9.2. I proved that the 9.2 here in MD5, and this 9.2 exactly the same. CF92, CF92. So the same algorithm produces the same results every single time, all the time. So go ahead, question?
No, I would say you can do the same thing with any file, binary or otherwise.
Sure, yeah. And what I like about this is it actually tells it to you in in all of the hashes. So whether you're using RIPE or SHA or Tiger, WPO, Haval, it tells you every single time. And if you want, you can see that SHA is 160-bit, then 256 is longer, and then 384 is longer than that, and then 512 is even longer than that. So you can prove the length there if you like. Also, let's do a couple more things just to knock this out of the park. I'm going to make this really, really big. So would you agree that I'm varying the contents of the file? I'm making them bigger. I'm changing the size. It's changing the size of the file. And what happened to the message digest? Is it smaller, the same size, or larger?
Same size.
Same length for that hash.
For exactly. Keynote that hash. So I'm proving that you take a variable length input, whatever the size of your data, it could be a terabyte of data, who cares? And you're going to get the same message digest size, 128 message digest every single time, all the time. Would you agree or disagree, or do I need to prove it? I can prove this. If I do this 1,000 times, I get the same size 1,000 times, regardless of the size of the input. Agree? So now am I proving disclosure, how disclosure is different from the integrity?
Yes.
And I can use this to authenticate you, so I can send a hash over the network and never have to send a password over the network as a result. Would you agree or disagree with that?
That's true.
Yeah, it's also true.
But the hash must exist on the other end.
Right, yeah, you got to have something to compare it to. Because just like in Google, right, they had, there's the client side and the server side. And the only thing that the client side versus the server side does is go, do they equal? That's it. If they equal, you must be who you say you are. You must have put in the right password because all I have is these equal. If they're different in the slightest little bit, one number, you are not who you say you are. You cannot prove it.